Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This picture I got from an Etsy store, Mitzi Sato. I'll link the store in the description box below, but she is an amazing artist who does some amazing detail work, and I've colored a few of hers before, but this is the first one that I've actually recorded. Hey, it's taken me forever on this one. Not only just a lot of real life stuff getting in the way, but I kept on getting discouraged and thinking about this piece and trying to go back like 100 different times. I really wasn't happy with it, but eventually I think it turned out really well. Now I do know on some of this video that it gets a little dark. That's because the page kept coming off of the light box and messing with the video, so I cut a lot of that out, so you might see some weird jumps and stuff there. I'm using the Express-It blending cardstock with Copic multi-liners and Copic markers, of course. I did try to show what markers I was using, but with the way the time-lapse and sped up worked, I think I just abandoned it because it wasn't really looking right. You'll notice here that I have a pencil mark showing where my light source was. I'm coloring and I'm all happy, and then I try to erase it and I realize, shit, you can't erase over the Copic, so kind of messed myself up there, even though I don't think it shows up too obviously in the final picture. On the side, I used the cool grays from Copic, and I realized into it that I didn't quite have all the colors that I wanted and or needed. So what is one to do but to pause and purchase more colors and go back and add to it. I think it ended up working really well, and anybody needs a good excuse to buy more Copic, so no worries there. On the dress, I really wanted it to be like this rich, dark purple velvet, but again, I didn't really have the color combination I wanted to get this done. So you'll see a lot of streaks here, and I keep going over it with the darker markers, trying to figure out where to put the highlight, how to put the highlight, how to blend it together. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think it started out turning very well. I ended up going back over all the highlights with the darker color and then using the lighter purple, kind of like a colorless blender, to try to thin out some of the dark in the highlighted areas. Eventually, I think it worked okay. Still on the torso part, I don't really like the way that's blended together, but you live and learn. The more you do this, the better you get at it. So, like I said at the end, I think it did turn out pretty good. You can see me here going back over the highlights like, no, let's try something different. And then I just used the dark purple again to go back over some of the areas for the shadows there. And like I said, eventually it did turn out looking very, very nice. And then after I did all that, you could see me going back with the darker brand new grays, and then I did the ribbon on the dress in what I wanted to make it look like a black satin, and that actually turned out very well. And then on her face, I wanted it very bright and colorful, very sugar candy skull-ish, and that turned out really well as well. The green I used here was a little bit bright, and I really wasn't happy about it. I tried going back and toning it down, but that didn't really work either. So I eventually just added a lot more green to the foreground and like the hair bunch flowers, because I just needed to bring that in along with the rest of it. And then the skulls on the bottom I did in like the warm grays, and I really like the way that they turned out, and the bronzy color on the side staff there, I really like the way that turned out as well. And then here I'm just starting with filling in a bunch of the color, and then I did like these dark rose color flower bunches. I really like the way that turned out, especially in her hair. I think it just looked really, really nice. I eventually went over with some silver like paint pen, even though it didn't really show up very well. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really like the detail at the end, but I added a bunch toward the bottom there. And then her hair, I was trying to do like a brown auburn, and it turned out very red, but I really liked it, so not too upset there. On the jewelry and stuff, I'm using the Jelly Roll Souffle pen, so it adds like a texture to it. It looks really, really cool at the end there. And then for see me trying to darken up the greens and then just add in the greens in the bottom to kind of bring that color in, and then adding a bunch of detail with the flowers on the foreground and in her hair. And then I'm doing this background, and I got the idea from Art a la Carte. She did it with her Killing It with Cobric video, where she did this amethyst dragon, and I just really liked the way it looked. It's very ombre-ish, and I thought it would work really good with my light source being kind of muted and down in the center like it was. And I really didn't want to color in the entire page, so this ended up looking really, really nice, I think, in the end, especially with the white jelly roll highlights that I'm putting in here. So hope you all enjoyed this video, and like if you liked, and subscribe, and have a good day. See you later.